Great design starts with caring about your customers, how they can interact with your products, how they interact with your content or material. And a lot of people forget about how these products will be used in everyday life. When we created a blueprint years ago, I was very mindful of how people could use that product in their everyday life. It had to be colorful, it had to be light, it had to be easy to use, and most of all, be able to be printed out over and over again so they can make mistakes and change things up. When we considered a physical product, when we looked at all the upside of a physical product and them being able to touch that and use that every day, we realized it simply wasn't going to work, because I needed people to be able to use it, to make mistakes and draw on it and feel comfortable with that process. And I think great design for us at Before 5 AM, it means colorful, new, innovative ideas which people can connect with. If the material is boring, it's not going to be able to connect with them in any way. When we created a playbook recently in 2019, we really invested so much time on color palettes and images and studying how people react to each page. And we made each page with the playbook an immersive experience, because that's how we consume content today. And we've got to be mindful of how people consume content in 2019, 2020. They don't flip through books as much as they used to. They're used to scrolling through. They're used to seeing things as single pieces of data or content. And we had to create our designs and our methodology around how people consume things today. And when I talk to a lot of companies, when they sit down with the design studio team and try and understand how they can improve their products and get their customers to be more involved and invested, one of the first things we always say is make sure it's relatable to how your customer base uses things today. Don't think about how they used it in 1980 or 1990 or even early 2000s. Think about how they connect with their products today and how you can help them really buy in and tie into your brand. And that's something we've been really big on. And everything from color palettes to fonts, and we spend endless amount of time looking at font sizes and different styles of font. We have focus groups, and we see how people feel around the different pages and pieces of content. And we're always trying new things, we're always innovating, and you never want to be scared of innovating. You've got to try it, but at the same time, when we look at great design at Before 5 AM, it's got to energize the individuals. It's got to help them feel something. If there's no emotional connection there, then what you find is they're not able to perform and function at their highest level, or they're not able to tie their life to the product or service. And I think that's something we've been very mindful of at Before 5 AM for a long time, and we've kept evolving it, and we've kept building on it. And even today, for example, I'll be signing off on a bunch of new color palettes for 2020. We want to make sure those color palettes were the right fit, and you'll see some of those new colors across the board, and they'll be more sportier, they'll be more full of life, because that's what our audience wants at the moment. They're heavily tied into well-being and lifestyle and starting their day right. So we have to be mindful of that, and we have to make sure that great design allows them to feel a certain way. And if we do that, then we build everything we want to build, and we get to build a great audience, and most of all, we get to keep evolving and building great products.